Bonjour! Today I'm going to tell you a story called Save the White Whale by Geronimo Stilton. It was how Geronimo, his nephew, his niece, and his friend Petunia went on a vacation and went on an also amazing adventure. Geronimo was very happy. He had received a letter from his friend Petunia. She was inviting him to a holiday on a beach with his nephew and niece. He knew about the owner, Mistress Sweetpaws, because she was there when they had visited the beach in childhood. So, they paid for their holiday and Geronimo went there with his friends. But then he was shocked. The whole place was ridden with all sorts of muck and dirt. And instead of Mistress Sweetpaws, there was a big rat who smelled of garlic. That man explained that Mistress Sweetpaws had asthma because of all the smoke in the beach. Geronimo instantly realized that this holiday wasn't going to go as he planned. So, to cool himself down, he decided to have a nap on the beach. He couldn't sleep. First, 3 ladies came and asked him for his autograph. They made him sign for hours and hours and hours. Finally, as he managed to get some sleep and was about to close his eyes, his niece, Bugsy Wugsy, pounded him with a book of jokes. Oh no, Bugsy Wugsy likes jokes. For the next 2 hours, she forced Geronimo to listen to the most ridiculous jokes ever. So Geronimo, tired, said he was going to sunbath for a while. So he refused to come along with the rest of them when they decided to check out into the rooms. He stayed and finally felt hot. So he put on something that he thought was sunscreen. But he began to burn. He checked the label of the bottle. Swiss cheddars. This was not at all sunscreen. This was shampoo. Horrified, Geronimo decided to go for a swim. But the water was very dirty. Just as he could step away, a wave pulled him into the water. He was tossed underwater until he lost his trousers. How embarrassing! So he waited till night came and then began to go back. He had made himself a skirt out of seaweed. But then he met the 3 women who wanted autographs from him on the beach. One of them, whose name was Gertrude, took a picture of him, and the next day all the gossip magazines had Geronimo's picture with seaweed skirt on them. Geronimo hated this miserable vacation, so he decided to make it better. He booked a trip to sea. They would see whales. But he overate and became seasick. So he decided to walk outside for a while. Everyone tagged along, but then he was drenched with some water. He thought it was a sea monster, but no, it was a white grey humpback whale. It was washed onto the onto the sand. They had to help it. So they called the authorities. The authorities looked after the whale and together they all heaved and hove until they managed to push the whale back into the sea. The whale raised its tail high and splashed. Then it raised its tail one last time as if saying goodbye and left. Geronimo was so happy at this. He was the editor of a newspaper called the Rodden's Gazette. So they had a special edition the next week after their holiday. He made up a newspaper edition called Save the White Whale. It was a success. So everyone decided that they would help the beach get better. They cleaned and finally they nursed Mistress Sweetpaws. So she came back, fired the man who smelled like garlic and began to run the place again. Only this time it wasn't very stinky. And then everyone went out on a boat ride. And guess who they saw? Of course, the big whale. And then they lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you.